So here we have our CCT bicolor panels. We have the 400 and the 200. The 400 is 2K output tungsten equivalent, and the 200 is a 1K output. These are pretty simple. On the back here, you have your presets 2700 Kelvin to 6000, so more on the warm tungsten side, and then all the way 6000 to cooler than standard daylight. And then right here, the overall menu, you can put in your DMX address if you're going to be using DMX, up to 512 channels. You have your dimming control, push in the knob, and then you have control over that. Push it again to return to the overall menu, and then you have control over your color temperature. And instead of pressing the buttons, you can now scroll in between 2700 and 6000 to get a precise color temperature. And then we have just an overall reading of the temperature of the light. On the back, we have the ballast. It converts the AC power, and then you can also use DC power as well on this. So if you have a compatible battery, you can use that as well. This is able to slide on and off pretty easily. This is reading at 4 amps at 50 volts. Its CRI is over 95, as well as its TLCI. It has the functionality to have the diffusion removed. So you can swap these in for thicker diffusion, lighter diffusion. And then with the 400, you are able to outfit it with a softbox, with a soft egg crate, and diffusion as well.
Again, some of the practical uses that you would use this instrument is to light cycles. One thing that it is really good at is between daylight and tungsten. It doesn't have RGB, but at the price point for lighting cycles for daylight and tungsten, this is a very practical model that we have available. The weight is roughly 29 pounds, I believe. Very easy and practical to lightweight. It uses a junior pin, and you can hang it. You can light it. You can use it on the ground to light cycles, and it's a very functional unit for daylight and tungsten.
So right here we have the soft panel 270 and the soft panel 135. These are both high power, so they are able to output just a little bit more over the wattage. If you are familiar with the menu from the RGB Aurora, then you would already be familiar with the menu on these soft panels, because they're exactly the same. So right here you have, or if you go to the overall menu, you have CCT, HSI, gel, and scene. And they function pretty much the same as they do on the Aurora. So you have your CCT from 2500 Kelvin all the way to 10,000, and you can control that with this knob right here and go all the way in between those. And then you also have your presets available as well, and your green and magenta control. And then on HSI, you have your hue, saturation, and intensity. So you can go all the way up to 100 with your hue, and then shift in between different colors. Or you can bring down the saturation to whatever liking that you want. And then going down to gel mode, once again, similar to Lee and Roscoe, but with our own names. If you know the number, it's displayed at the top right corner. And then also daylight and tungsten balanced, and then standard control over your dimming. And then down to scene, all the same scenes that are available on the Aurora are on here as well. and still the ability to import your own. You have your LAN and then micro USB so that you can import your own scenes, as well as DMX control, 512 channels, and everything can be accessed here on the menu. If you go into settings, you have your DMX control. You also have your fan control. You can turn it to set to auto, off, or control it from the DMX. And it takes PowerCon for power. In front, you see it has a hard egg crate. We have sizes for both units, and these just snap on pretty easily. And then you just press down and they snap right back in.
Practical use for this on set would be lighting sites with the convenience of having RGB, so you could paint the site again with any color that you would like. Would also be good soft top light. You could also make a larger soft box, 20 by 20, 10 by 20, and put multiple units of these and give you a good soft even spread across that soft box. As far as a key light, you can use it as a backlight. This unit would be really good, like if you're lighting, if you wanted to use back soft edges for someone sitting at a couch or in a bed, where you have kind of like a wider space, something that you need more than 2 feet, and you don't want to use multiple units. You can use one unit, or if you have, this space, this is almost 4 feet long, so if it's an 8-foot, 12-foot span, this would be more practical for using less units to get more of a linear space.
And here we have our soft panel line. This is the soft panel 200 and the soft panel 100. These are the bicolor units, so their range is from 2700 to 6000, and that's what is displayed here right now. These ones are just like most of our bicolor only products. The menu is also the same for those. So with the click of a button, you have access to your overall menu where you can control your DMX address. If you're using a DMX board, dimming control, 0 all the way to 100. And then you have your color temperature where you can fine tune between 2700 and 5600 Kelvin. And then your presets for in between those. And then you have a reading of what your unit temperature is, and that is essentially the overall menu. It uses PowerCon. It can also take DC power from a battery, and then these are the DMX in and outs. And then also it can be outfitted with a grip mount. Right now it's using the yoke mount. And then here in front we have little pegs for a hard egg crate as well as barn doors.
Again, the practicality of these two units would be to light sites, to also do top lighting. It does have attachments for egg crates, so if you wanted to light like hallways and office buildings and things like that, you could simulate the top lights from those areas. Best use, well, being that they're not RGB, they would be tungsten to daylight. So this would be good for like long-term installments if you know you're just going to be shooting day and night in these kind of area or spaces where you're not going to be using lots of color. Like I said, like hallways, office buildings, those type of applications for set use, lighting sets.
Alrighty, and that concludes our week 2 demo where we covered the LED panels. We'll see y'all next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Thank you.